Thank you, Congresswoman Sewell. I also want to recognize some of the other officials here. I know there are many, and I will miss a number of them, but we're pleased to have staff from Congressman Bacchus's office here today as well. And we are pleased to have and to be joined by my friend, your federal prosecutor for this part of Alabama, Joyce Vance. I also want to recognize the Alabama Superintendent of Banks, who's here with us today, John Harrison, the Alabama Director of the Securities Commission, Joe Borg, whom I met a few moments ago, Stephen Hoyt, the President Pro Tem of the Birmingham City Council, and I know there's others that I'm glossing over, but what I want to say is what we find as we go around the country, and it's very important for us to get out of Washington and hear from people firsthand on all sides of these issues, that there is deep interest we find among federal, state, and local officials of all backgrounds, of all experiences, in the issues that affect every one of the people in our community, consumers. And there is a deep concern and desire to work with us to find the right approach to these issues so that we can improve the lives of the American people. That's what we're all about, and that's why we're here today. So we are in Birmingham, as was mentioned, to hold the Consumer Bureau's very first field hearing on any issue. And today's field hearing is dealing with the subject of payday lending. Many of the other events of the day for us are being held at the Civil Rights Institute. And so it's fitting to refer to Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., who once said, "The dignity of the individual will flourish when the decisions concerning his life are in his own hands, when he has the means to seek self-improvement." At the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, we deeply believe in empowering people so they can make informed financial decisions and take responsibility for those decisions. Before we open this hearing, I'll take a few minutes to discuss the payday lending market and our role in overseeing it. Let me stress again that this is a field hearing. We came here to listen, to learn, and to gather information on the ground that will help inform our approach to these issues. We're thinking hard about these issues, and we do not have all the answers worked out by any means. So let me describe the subject for today. Payday loans are short-term, high-cost loans made in exchange for a commitment to repayment from the person's next paycheck. According to reports from the industry, about 19 million American households are currently choosing to borrow money through payday loans. Payday lending as we know it has grown rapidly since the 1990s. Today, payday loans are readily available online and in many areas in storefronts, even in strip malls. Some traditional banks are now offering a similar product called a deposit advance or by similar rubric. Payday loan storefronts are scattered throughout the country, in some places more than others. Alabama has one of the highest concentrations of payday lenders in the United States. There's been such a growth of payday lenders in Birmingham that your city council last month passed a 6-month moratorium on any new payday lenders setting up in the city. We knew that in coming here we would hear a robust debate on both sides of this issue. So, just who is using payday loans? From what we've seen so far, families who take out a payday loan tend to have less income, fewer assets, and lower net worth than the average family. Surveys indicate that payday borrowers are disproportionately people of color. People often are responding to an emergency that requires quick access to cash. It appears that a significant share of payday borrowers do not have savings or a credit card. And many like the payday option because it is relatively anonymous, quick, and easy. A borrower can have the money in half an hour, and other family members may not have to find out about the loan. Whatever their reasons may be for taking out a payday loan, Americans are now borrowing billions of dollars this way. Lenders collect over $7 billion in fees alone annually. In a pinch, getting the cash you need can seem worth it at any cost. Maybe you would never dream of paying an annual percentage rate of 400% on a credit card or any other type of loan, but you might do it for a payday loan. When you're desperate, the terms of the loan seem to matter a lot less. You need the money, you need it now. Rightly or wrongly, people faced with tough situations often think these payday loans are their only options. It matters on this issue that we all look to develop a more vibrant, competitive market for small consumer loans. At the Bureau, we now have the authority to examine non-bank payday lenders of all types and sizes, as well as large banks that offer deposit advance products. We've already begun examining the banks, and we'll be paying close attention to these products at the banks that offer them. And this month, we have launched our examination program for non-bank financial firms as well. Today, we're releasing our short-term, small-dollar lending procedures, which is the field guide for our examiners across the country who will be visiting both banks and payday lenders to see firsthand how they conduct business. Our examination authority is an important tool that will allow us to inspect their books, ask tough questions, and work with them to fix any problems we uncover. This includes looking at the materials and strategies that are used to market the loans. Before this month, the federal government did not examine payday lenders. Some state regulators have been supervising payday lenders for compliance with their state laws. We hope to use our combined resources as effectively as possible. So now the Bureau will be giving payday lenders much more attention. This is an important new area for us as we see it. And the purpose of this field hearing and the purpose of all our research and analysis and outreach on these issues is to help us figure out how to determine the right approach to protect consumers and ensure they have access to a small loan market that is fair, transparent, and competitive. At the Bureau, we hear from consumers all across the country. One person from Michigan told us of having to use payday loans several times and wanting them to remain available because alternatives did not exist. And so I want to be clear about one thing. We recognize that there is a need and a demand in this country for emergency credit. At the same time, it's important that these products actually help consumers and not harm them. A lack of supervision prior to this at the federal level means there's a lot we do not know about some of the inherent risks associated with payday products. Through forums like this and through our supervision program, we will systematically gather data to get a complete picture of the payday market and its impact on consumers. This assessment will allow us to better choose among the tools we have available at the Bureau to balance the needs of consumers with the risks they face. For example, we hear a lot about repeated long-term use of payday loans. We plan to dig deep on this topic to understand what consumers know when they take out a loan and how they're affected by long-term use of these products. For borrowers who are already living paycheck to paycheck, it may be difficult to repay the loan and still have enough money to pay other bills. Trouble strikes when they cannot pay back the money. That 2-week loan rolls over and over and turns into a loan that the consumer has been carrying for months and months. Soon they're living off money borrowed at a rate of 400%. One consumer wrote a Tell Your Story on our website about borrowing $500 to pay for car repairs. In 9 months, $900 has now been paid out, $312 more to go. The payday lender takes the money directly from the consumer's checking account, and not enough is left to pay other bills. In addition to the things we need to learn more about, we know that some payday lenders are engaged in practices that present immediate risks to consumers and are clearly illegal. While we need to learn more about the prevalence of this conduct and what allows it to fester, where we find these practices, we will take immediate steps to eliminate them. One example is unauthorized debits on a person's checking account. These can occur when, unbeknownst to them, the consumer is dealing with several businesses hidden behind the payday loan. When consumers are shopping online for a payday loan, the person advertising the loan may not be the same person as the lender and may simply be gathering and selling the customer's information. The highest bidder may be a legitimate lender, but it could also be a fraudster that has enough of the consumer's sensitive financial information to make unauthorized withdrawals from their bank account. Another example is aggressive debt collection tactics involving payday loans, either by the lenders themselves or by debt collectors acting on their behalf. These can include posing, as we've heard, as federal authorities, threatening borrowers with criminal prosecution, trying to garnish wages improperly, and harassing the borrower as well as their families, friends, and co-workers. These illegal practices are outrageous. We want to root them out where we find them. And we want to work with responsible parties in the industry to prevent them from spreading. Let me say to all of you that it is a privilege for us to visit Birmingham, where so many people endured police dogs and fire hoses in their pursuit of freedom. The fundamental principles of dignity and equality that powered the civil rights movement also animate our work at the Bureau. Dr. King showed the whole world how determination and imagination and perseverance in service of a great cause could move not only the course of institutions, but the trajectory of an entire society. The work of the Bureau is more modest. It is not designed to redeem fundamental constitutional principles of American life, but we are here to make sure that fundamental fairness for all consumers is assured when they need to borrow money. And we can do that. Working with you, we can find and expose the hidden risks. We can make sure that people are able to pursue their hopes and dreams by working with responsible businesses to make informed financial decisions. In this field hearing, please share your thoughts and experiences with us. If we don't get to you today orally, share them with us in writing. Tell us what works and what does not. Tell us how we can do our small part to achieve Dr. King's vision of an America where we all have a chance to achieve our deepest aspirations. Thank you very much.